Hi, everyone. We are live at 5. It is Thursday, July 26th, and I am Paul Wontorek.
And I'm Ryan Lee Gilbert.
And over there is Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
And we have a fantastic guest who I love today. Kate Bornstein is here. Broadway debut and Straight White Man. A lot to talk about, but first, today's top 5.
An exciting show is getting its West End revival.
Yes, the 35th anniversary revival of the play Coming Clean by Kevin Elliott. It was a groundbreaking play, won all sorts of awards in 1982. It is transferring to the West End in 2019.
What's groundbreaking about it?
It took place it was put up in the early 80s, and it was about so it follows a couple who have been a gay couple who have been okay with like one night stands for a long time in their relationship, but then one of them starts to crave something a little bit more monogamous, and then there's an affair, and questions of fidelity and love get all torn up in this play. It's very, very, very important play. It will be running at the Trafalgar Studios 2, January 9th through February 2nd in the West End, and it will open officially on January 11th. Casting will be announced at a later date, but the gentleman Adam Spreadberry Marr, who directed this recent revival, will be directing once again on the West End.
I wonder if it's ever been done in New York.
I don't believe it has.
think so.
No.
Interesting.
Look at that, right? Gay plays are all the rage.
A landmark gay play that we don't know about.
Absolutely. Time to learn.
And what started out as a limited run at a pub has now turned into a limited run off Broadway.
Do you know Jemima Jones?
I don't. I'm very excited to learn.
Jemima.
Neither do I, but Jemima Jones, Kate does.
Kate knows.
Kate can tell us all about it. I don't know Jemima Jones. Black Light is coming to Off-Broadway's Greenwich House Theater. It was done at Joe's Pub at the Public Theater. Jemima Jones is the alter ego of Daniel Alexander Jones. It will be starting September 24th, opening set for October 10th, running through the end of the year. Yeah. So now Oscar Eustace, who's obviously the man who runs the Public Theater, very fancy man, he says, Daniel Alexander Jones is a boundary-breaking visionary and extraordinary artist shaman who creates euphoria in the theater. He is what the world needs now.
What a great quote.
That's
and
a great
it seems like Kate Bornstein agrees. There's a lot of nodding happening.
That sounds fantastic.
Blacklight draws musical influence from Prince, Sade, Diana Ross, and Tina Turner, and is marked significantly by the Black American freedom movement, Afro-mysticism, goddess mythology, and divination.
This sounds amazing.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
So there you go. You can go see it off Broadway.
Absolutely.
Love it. And an exciting new show is finding its feet on Broadway tonight.
That was a good one, Caitlin. That was great. Head Over Heels is opening tonight.
The Go-Go's on Broadway.
Go-Go's music. You know their music. Vacation, Our Lips Are Sealed.
Wait, and the Belinda Carlisle songs.
Oh my God.
I mean, Heaven is a Place on Earth is like
Belinda
the
Carlisle
best.
So much. That's how my gay growing was Belinda Carlisle. So yes, that is opening at the Hudson Theater tonight. It is July 26th. Michael Mayer directs. Spencer Liff choreographs. A book by James Magruder, adapted from an original book by James Whitty.
Jeff Whitty,
sorry.
Q, yeah.
Incredible cast: Andrew Durand, Taylor Iman Jones, Jeremy Kushner, Bonnie Milligan, Tom Allen Robbins, Alexander Sosha, Rachel York, and Peppermint, of course, making a Broadway debut. Go see Head Over Heels. It's absolutely fantastic. We're really excited for all of them. Obviously, tomorrow we'll have tons of Head Over Heels content for you to enjoy, so that you were there on opening night.
True. And a classic musical is heading back to the big screens.
The Hills are still alive.
The Hills are still alive.
Sound of Music. Everybody still wants to see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially it's always exciting to see those old musicals in a real movie theater.
Right, absolutely.
I remember the first time I saw West Side Story in a movie theater. Blew my mind.
I haven't had that privilege.
Well, because you know why it blew my mind? Because whenever I watched it on TV, it's CinemaScope. They chopped off the edges, and I was like, that girl wasn't even in it when I saw it. Graciela, one of the Jet girls. Graciela was barely in it until I saw it in the theater. So go see The Sound of Music in movie theaters on September 9th and 12th at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. And you know it. You know The Sound of Music. Go see it. Julie Andrews.
And we got a brand new show, people, up for everyone to enjoy.
Who did I interview, Ryan?
You interviewed Anika Noni Rose, who we absolutely love
Fantastic.
and adore. She's amazing. You would know her from Princess and the Frog. She won a Tony for Caroline or Change, was recently here in A Raisin in the Sun. Dreamgirls, of course.
She
talks about Dreamgirls, about singing with Jennifer Hudson and Beyonce. She's in Carmen Jones off Broadway right now.
Yep.
But she has an amazing interview. We love her so much. She's one of the best. Go watch it. You love show people. I don't have to sell you on any
Have you watched it yet?
I have not finished it yet. I started it. I haven't
At least
finished
he's
it.
on it.
I was
You can
working.
go do it now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do it right now.
Why
I'm
don't
gonna
you
finish
go?
it. Yes.
And Caitlin will tell everyone about Kate.
Oh, yes. Guys, we have Kate Bornstein in the studio with us today. She is making Broadway debut and Straight White Men. It's amazing. But also she's a celebrated performance artist who has toured nationally and internationally over the past 30 years. She's done it all. And most recently, she performed on Men, Women, and the Rest of Us at La Mama in New York City. She's the subject of the documentary film Kate Bornstein is a Queer in Pleasant Danger. Love it. And she also appeared with Caitlyn Jenner on ETV's I Am Kate. She's also written a bunch of groundbreaking books like Gender Outlaw and Hello, Cruel World. Seriously, what hasn't this person done? They've done it all. Be sure to leave Kate on follow Kate on social media at Kate Bornstein on both Instagram and Twitter, so you can catch up on, make sure you know everything she's doing in her life, and leave all your questions for her in the comments down below. Everyone, please welcome Paul and Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, Paul.
I am so happy you are here. When I heard you were coming to Broadway, I was like, I can't wait to meet Kate. So I'm so excited you were on Broadway, and I'm so excited you're sitting here. Welcome.
Me too. You have the best set of any show
thank you.
ever.
Thank you.
Yes.
What an honor. David Corns, a very fancy Broadway set designer, designed it. He did Hamilton and Dear Evan Hansen.
Well, it
and
showed.
the little Broadway.com room. So welcome.
Yay.
Welcome to
you.
Broadway. Did you see, can I tell everyone your age? I feel like you're very open
of
about
course,
everything.
of
You are
course.
70 years old.
I am.
Shocking, because you look fantastic.
Seriously.
You're on Broadway. Was this something that you thought would happen at this point in your life, or?
You know, all right. I went to school in the 60s to study theater.
You grew up in Jersey.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And then I took a sidetrack into the Church of Scientology.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Oh,
we don't have enough
please.
time to dig into
No,
that.
not that one.
But
that
you
one, that one.
you learned.
But when I got out, I realized, nope. I really am not a man. And in those days, in the 80s, we called it a sex change. And I had to weigh theater or life, or life. What do I do here? And I thought I was giving up theater completely. And oh my God, here I am on Broadway.
Here you are on Broadway. And you've done a lot of theater work. You've done like solo shows, and you're very comfortable from an audience.
Oh yeah, well, I got into performance art. Once I went through with my gender transition,
Right.
there was this amazing world of performance artists. And I was able to do my own solo shows. I had a show called Hidden Agenda.
Yep.
And it was sweet.
Right.
But Broadway always seemed, no, well, that'll never happen.
Yeah. And it happened. Your name's on a marquee.
I know.
It's crazy.
And you know what? I haven't been so happy that my name starts with a B, because they list them in alphabetical
I know, you're
order,
first.
and I'm first.
I know, you're first. As it should be.
Love it.
My mother would be so happy.
So yeah, what I love when people from different worlds come to Broadway, and it's so fantastic, because I feel like a lot of people watching might not know much about you, but as you said, you were assigned male at birth.
Yep.
And in the 80s, I guess you were in your 30s, right?
Yeah.
You went through the whole, like you said, the gender reassignment, and then you kind of said, well, I don't feel like I'm female either.
Yep.
Neither felt comfortable. So now you are non-binary. Now I feel like everyone is learning new terms, and everyone's figuring out, right? I mean, it's such an interesting time we live in.
Such a good time, because people are just getting into the idea of transgender. Okay, not a man, really a woman, or not a woman, really a man. And that's a lot to get a hold of.
Yeah.
But then this whole new idea, new to a lot of people, of not being one or the other, that there are more possibilities than two.
Yeah.
This is starting to actually gain traction in the world. And to be able to stand on a Broadway stage 8 times a week and say, I'm what's called non-binary.
You address the audience,
Yes,
and you would sort of
directly.
introduce yourself. So that's amazing.
Yep.
And because the way that you are used in the show, along with Ty Defoe, another trans performer.
Yep.
The way that you're used in the shows, I don't want to sort of spoil it, but I don't know, it's sort of it's a framework around the. Well, just go see the play. Go see the play.
And come a little bit early. And if you're sitting in the orchestra, you'll meet me. And if you're sitting in the balcony, you'll meet Ty. Both of us are delightful to talk with.
There's a bunch of things I love about you. You call yourself Aunt Kate. I've heard you referred to as like Auntie Kate. You're sort of like the auntie to the world. To the world, to whatever community wants an aunt.
Well, now that Auntie Kate has been going on for like maybe 10, 15 years, and so now all of a sudden I'm Granny Kate.
Oh, Granny Kate.
Terrific.
I also love this quote that you said. You said, "All roads in life lead nowhere, so you might as well choose the road that has the most heart and is the most fun." And I've also heard you say. You were considering writing a book called Trans just for the fun of it, because you said everyone takes all of this so seriously now. Yeah. And I love sort of your life, your outlook, and how did you get such a positive attitude, and have you just been sort of like living in your skin comfortably for so long that now you're like, you know what, the people need sort of positive energy.
It's an old song. I think Chris Christopherson wrote it. Janis Joplin made it so popular. Me and Bobby McGee, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. And when you go, oh, what the heck? I'm going to go through with the sex change. What else? I mean, what have I got to lose? And doing that, what have I got to lose? What have I got to lose?
Yeah.
And then aiming toward not being mean to people. That's been a guiding principle in my life for a long time now.
Would you like to sing me and Bobby McGee right now, the whole thing?
No.
I was just giving you the opportunity.
Just in case.
I'm in musicals, and I'm actually in a heading to Broadway sort of musical, Stew for Silverton. Do you know about this?
No, tell me.
I
didn't know you did musicals.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I did.
Did you do musicals when you were young?
Uh-huh.
Like what?
I played Mac in Threepenny.
Oh, fun.
What else did I do?
As in Mac the Knife, everybody.
Yes,
like
thank you. That was my favorite one.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
so what is this musical?
It's called Stew for Silverton, and you can Google it. It's based on a true story in the 80s in Oregon, a small little town in backwoods Oregon, elected a non-binary trans woman their mayor. And the story of how, and Stu, he keeps male pronouns, and he calls himself Stu, and he loves to dress and be a girl, and how a town overcame prejudice and welcomed Stu as their mayor. It's a really good, and I've got like 4 solos.
I'm loving that. I have to tell you, I read your book, Gender Outlaw, which is a classic book years ago. But I really, really fell in love with you as a personality when I saw you on I Am Kate. Because you were on the Caitlyn Jenner reality show. And what it looked like, obviously Caitlyn Jenner had recently come out at that point as trans and sort of going, and they surrounded her with very wise people, very wise trans people, including yourself. And it was so fascinating to watch it and so emotional. And I remember when the show was on, I said, no, watch it because there's actually so much education happening on this big platform on E! What was that experience like for you?
It was one of the best times of my life. I had been for 20 some odd years saying, I'm not a man, I'm not a woman, I'm non-binary, I didn't hang with trans women, I didn't really understand that point of view. I'm going, okay, yes, you're a woman, I believe you because you say so, but I don't understand it.
Right.
And all of a sudden, there I was on a bus cross country
On a bus.
with 6 trans women.
Yeah.
And I'm going, okay, now I get to learn about that.
And talking it out. So, some of those conversations were incredible that happened on that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all grew to, it was, what are we going to do? Fight? Is it going to be that kind of a reality show? No. Why?
Yeah.
And we all opted to make peace. And boy, that was difficult, but so rewarding. Really one of the best times of my life.
That's amazing.
So what is it like? What's the Broadway experience been like? Has it been what you expected it to be, or how's Armie Hammer? I mean, how's it going?
People, I would say, hey, you know what? I've been cast in a Broadway show. And people who would know about it go, are you sure you can do 8 performances a week? And I'm going, yeah, what? And wow. It's a little bit.
Lot? It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Takes over your life.
Yeah. There's no time for really anything else. I miss my cat a lot. But I get to work in theater. I stand, and here's another thing. I stand on a Broadway stage 8 times a week, and I get to say to a Broadway audience, don't be mean.
Wow.
That's a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think there are many shows where there's a direct address from the stage to the audience.
Right.
And so to be able to participate in that, to be able to use the skills I developed in performance art for 30 years on Broadway, I think Young Jean Lee and Anna Shapiro, bless your hearts for having the courage to do this, and Second Stage Theater for having even more courage to put it on their subscription series, because I got to tell you, some subscribers are not ready for this. They don't know what to do when all of a sudden someone's talking directly to them.
Right, I love that.
Oh,
You're
it's
also
such
in
fun.
that movie Sunday Church, which I saw.
Saturday
Church. I'm
Saturday
sorry.
Church. Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
But MJ Rodriguez was in that.
Yes.
Who we know, who's now in Pose.
Pose.
I mean, so crazy what's happening with Pose.
I know.
And then, like we already mentioned, Peppermint is opening tonight. Trans performer, and Alexandra Billings is coming to Broadway. I mean, it's really interesting how the theater community, I feel like, I've said this, and maybe I'm being naive in saying this, but it feels like the Broadway and the theater community is really sort of jumping on this bandwagon in a big way, of sort of giving exposure to these conversations and to these performers.
It seems to be, and we do need to remember the first, I believe, first out non-binary trans woman to perform on Broadway was Mixed Justin Vivian Bond.
Yes.
In Kiki and Herb.
Kiki and Herb, yeah, absolutely.
So it's just, you know, that I could live this long to see it go from, you know, a sneering kind of, you sex change, and then now you're on Broadway. It's I'm so grateful for my life.
I'm grateful too. I love it. I love it so much. You're such an inspiration, honestly. I know that word gets thrown around a lot, but I could talk to you forever. But
I'm literally crying.
And Caitlin's crying. Are there any questions out there?
Oh, I like this one. Okay. Elise asks, what do you hope audiences take away from Straight White Men?
Excellent.
So it really is a look into straight white men, and it really is a look into male privilege and white male privilege, right? I mean, there's a lot of that in this show.
The whole idea of straight white men as an identity there's always been the assumption that this is the default, this is the norm, this is how everybody should behave. And what Young Jean Lee has done is go, okay, but it's still an identity that needs examination and revealing, and let's see where it falls short and where it actually does succeed. And to walk away from straight white men with the idea that, oh my gosh, they aren't all jerks. They have as much of a, I wouldn't say spiritual, but emotional or psychological burden to bear by wearing that identity of straight white men. And I walked away from the first reading with more compassion for them. That's what I would like to see people walk away from.
Wow.
Compassion. Be nice.
Be nice. Like it. Oh, this is fun. George says, what were some of the highlights that you took away from opening night?
First of all, I love those shades you wear. Those fantastic.
Aren't they?
Oh, they're wonderful.
I wore my anti-glare ones for television. Well, there was the woman who came into the best one was the woman who came into the audience and was looking around, and there's this big glitter curtain, and there's me in this fabulous suit.
I thought I was at a strip club when I walked in.
Right.
Very excited. Yeah.
And the music, and she's going, I thought this was a play about straight white men. This is very gay. I thought, what better present could I have on opening night?
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
No wonder I was happy when I got there. Well, Kate, we have to let you go, but thank you so much for being here. It really is such a treat to get to meet you. Everyone, go see Kate Bornstein and the rest of the fantastic cast of Straight White Men at the Hayes Theater, Second Stage Theater. And Caitlin, why don't you take us out?
Sure. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 every single day on Facebook. To listen to all of our past interviews, go to wherever you listen to podcasts, type in #live@5, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. We don't do Live at 5s on Fridays, but make sure to tune in on Monday when we talk to Taylor Amon Jones from Head Over Heels, fresh off of opening night tonight.